Hey guys, what's going on? It's Bree from Boston Banner Bound. It's been a minute, and I honestly thought that with the time that has passed, they would get better, get into a rhythm. And unfortunately, I guess the theme of this season is going to be I come on here and I vent and talk about their inconsistency. Obviously, I couldn't sit and watch all of these games from start to finish because I do have a job. So I made some notes on some of the key things that I saw when I was able to watch a few games. I'm just going to recap you and tell you where we are at right now. So we are below 500. We are a 23 and 24 team. And that kind of just speaks for itself. When I left you, they were facing the Knicks. They actually beat the Knicks 99-75. Fournier was actually out this game. So you saw that with Fournier out and with the Knicks coming here, the Celtics actually capitalized on that and they actually got the win. Then they took on the Indiana Pacers and they won that game in overtime 101-98. Then they went to Indiana, played the Pacers, won 119-100, and now they're on a 3-game win streak. And so now we have a little bit of hope, like, okay, maybe they figured it out. But no, they did not. They went to Philadelphia, they played the Sixers and lost 111-99. Then after that game, they had a 5-game homestand. So you thought, okay, maybe they will clean it up, get their act together now that they have 5 games at home. So that means they're not traveling. They get some rest. They get to see their families. Maybe that will be the spark that starts another win streak and gets the ball rolling. So they ended up actually getting the win against the number 1 seeded Chicago Bulls at the time. They won that game barely, 114-112, but here we go. There was no Levine and there was no Lonzo Ball, so it was almost one of those things where you should have won. Like, it was dumb if you didn't win at home against an injured Chicago Bulls team. Also, they didn't have Alex Caruso either. And in this game, what I noted was that there were 6 Celtics players in double figures, so that is important. Sharing the ball, being able to have multiple people putting up double figures a night definitely helps secure a win. They didn't have Marcus Smart either, so that was good that they could actually step up in the absence of Marcus Smart. Both teams were on traveling back-to-backs as well. But again, we were a 500 team at this point, and we were facing the number 1 seeded Chicago Bulls team. Yes, they were a little bit shorthanded, but you know how it goes. Celtics rise to the occasion of top-tier teams, and then they play down to shitty teams. It's just the story of the Celtics. I don't know why they do it. I also don't know why they live and die by the 3. Just things that we can't explain, but we know. Like, it's kind of like, tell me you're a Celtics fan without telling me you're a Celtics fan. Like, you know that that's just the way that it is when you're watching a Celtics game. They could have a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. You're still not sure if they're going to win that game. It's just how it goes. It's the emotional roller coaster. Pain is love, and we love the Celtics. And we have a lot of pain right now. So then it was Martin Luther King Day. There was a large slate of games on this Monday, and they ended up playing the Pelicans at home. It was a 12:30 start, so I know that the Celtics, more than they hate third quarters, they hate matinee games. But to my surprise and to everyone's surprise, they actually got the win. And at this point, they've won 5 out of 6 of their games, of their last games. So we're thinking, okay, can they do it? Are they figuring it out? Are the wheels finally rolling? Are we heading in the right direction? I don't know, honestly, because as you know where we are right now, we're again a below 500 team currently in the standings. We are 10th in the East. We are out of playoff contention as of right now. So this was Brad's moment to shine, okay? So he has 3 weeks left until the trade deadline, which is February 10th. And he made a move already, which was great. This is his first year as a GM. It's his first year to kind of tell us the type of GM he is going to be. We already know that he has a great basketball IQ. We just didn't know if he was going to be the type of person to pull the trigger or not. During the season or in the off season, we weren't sure. So what we did was we got rid of the fucking terrible Hernan Gomez, thank God. And we ended up picking PJ Dozier up, who was a former Celtic. He was a former bench warmer Celtic. So not much there, not much potential there. And then we picked up Bol. And Bol is a 7'3" center. He's huge. Taco is 7'6". Bol is 7'3". So huge dudes. But the thing is with these two pickups is that they're both injured for the rest of the year. So the only reason why we did this trade was for salary cap reasons. We wanted to free up fucking freeloading, dead weight Hernan Gomez, that $7 million contract for him to sit on the fucking bench. And then when he did happen to go into a game, he fucking was terrible. So we got rid of his ass, got rid of that $7 million contract hanging over our head. And we picked up those two guys with the TPE, with the Kemba Walker trade. So we're not even spending money on these two guys. So we freed up $7 million worth for cap space. So that was mainly the deal for that. And I'm not sure if we're even keeping PJ and Bol going forward. I think it was strictly just for money purposes, which is great because I would like that money to use for somebody that we target that's better. And I didn't like Hernan Gomez. He was a waste of fucking space. So good riddance. We needed that $7 million. After that happened, we took on the Hornets at home and we lost 111-102. And this is where Tatum starts his 3-point shot drought. He was 0 for 7. He had 12 points. However, we had no Marcus Smart, no Rob Williams. He had his second child, so he was out for paternity leave. And we had no Aaron Nesmith. And we had Dennis Schroeder being our leading scorer of that night. And also, it was the first time that Gordon Hayward has played in the TD Garden since he left. And so that was kind of monumental, and that was a great feel-good game for Gordon Hayward and Gordon Hayward fans. Obviously, seeing Terry Rozier as well, that also makes you feel good when you see former players doing well in another franchise. However, we would have wanted the win as well as them doing great, but no, didn't go our way. Then we played the Blazers, and this is so I don't know what the deal is with the Celtics, but it seems like they're one-upping themselves from playing the shittiest games and losing in the shittiest ways to shitty teams. Like you had a Dameless 18-26 ranked Blazer team coming to the Garden. This is the 5th game of your homestead. You've been chilling at home for 2 straight weeks and you can't fucking beat the Blazers, bro? Like, I'm literally baffled. We had a 12-point lead in the 4th quarter, blew that fucking lead. We lost 109-105. Tatum's pulling up for a 3 when you're down 1 and he's 0 for 19 shooting threes. And I'm just mind boggled. Like, doesn't even make sense to me. Like, Tatum's now in a slump, 0 for 20 for threes. Celtics were fucking ice cold the last 7 minutes of play. They didn't score 1 field goal. They I don't even know. I honestly, it's like the controller was broken. Nothing happened. Ime did nothing. The Blazers went on a 20-5 run to end the game, and it's just embarrassing. And I'm getting more and more embarrassed by each shitty loss that there was. And that's why I can't sit and be happy about, oh, at one point they won 5 out of their last 6. Oh, you know, they managed to make it back to 500. Now you're 23-24, and you're playing the 500 ranked or 23-23 sitting at 500 Wizards. And that they're playing tomorrow in Washington. And obviously Celtics are coming off a loss. Wizards are on a 2-game losing streak. They have everybody healthy on their roster, according to my injury report updates that I saw. But again, that can change overnight. You never know. The Celtics, however, have Nesmith and Marcus Smart listed as probable. But it's like, you might as well put Tatum on that fucking list. Put him on a milk carton, because where are you, bro? Like, you got to be more smart. If you're only down 1, and there's like a minute left, less than a minute left in the 4th quarter, and you're at home, why are you settling to pull up for a 3 so unnecessarily? It just doesn't make any sense to me. You need to be smarter about time management and smarter about your shot selection, and realize that when you only need a 2, you don't settle for a shitty 3. When you literally, that might be your last shot and your last attempt of the game to either tie the game. Tie the game, meaning like if you drive to the rim and you get fouled, you don't finish the layup, and you get 1 for 2, and then you tie. Like, you at least had the opportunity to tie, if not win the game by 1, by driving to the lane and settling for 2. But no, you wanted to force the 3 and then waste time off the clock, and then not set yourself up for success, not set yourself up for a chance. Like, that was your one shot, and it was a fadeaway 3. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's to the point where, look, like, I know that a lot of people questioned Brad Stevens when he first started, and I'm trying to like think back and think if it was this bad when Brad started, and I really don't think it was to the point of being this bad. I'm pretty sure for the 6 seasons, I believe it was, that Brad was our head coach, he made it to the Eastern Conference Finals like 5 out of the 6 times, and he made it to the playoffs every time. So it's not even looking like we're going to make playoffs, let alone the play-in, let alone even like me thinking that we could even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals at this point is a fucking joke. So I don't know how long we're going to wait to do something about Ime. I think he was a great assistant coach for Coach Pop. That doesn't equate to you being a great head coach. And I don't think you could jump from one extreme to the other that quickly in such a historic franchise, with a franchise that expects banners, with a franchise that expects to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, or at least top 3 in the East. Like, with that talent of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, you need to think that that is your goal. And it's embarrassing that we are a subpar, sub 500 team halfway through the season, and something needs to be done. Either you fire Ime at All-Star break if we're not at least a couple games above 500 at that point, or I don't know, you got to do something, because we can't sit and waste away years of the Jaylen and Jason duo, because I'm not gonna like assume this of them, but I assume if I was young and I was an all-star and had that potential and knew what I was capable of, I would not want to be on a team that I'm unsure of, that I'm not certain of, that we don't even make playoffs, like, and we have this reputation to uphold, and we're not doing it. They're not being set up for success. And being set up for success means that you get a head coach that knows what he's doing and knows how to take that team to that next level. And if it's not Ime, they need to figure it out. I know that they wanted a black coach. I want them to have that black coach, to respect that coach, to have a player coach, to have someone that they can look up to. But it needs to be someone that knows what they're doing. Maybe someone with a lot more years on them. Doc Rivers was a great example of that, because he was old, he played in the league, people respected him, he knew what he was doing. He just didn't want to stick around for a rebuild, and that bit him in the ass because he traveled around, now he's with the Sixers, whatever. But he could have just stayed and stuck it out, because I think he would have done a great job trying to raise Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to their potential. So they need to figure that out. Definitely think some trades need to happen. Some more trades. I'm glad that Brad already got the ball rolling with that, getting that money, getting Hernan Gomez out of here. They definitely need another center. They definitely need another scorer. I think if you just transform Marcus Smart into a legit point guard and just tell him that he needs to keep doing what you're doing, be a little more selective with your shots, be more concerned with setting people up for success, and then stay hard on that defense like you always do, I think would be golden. Marcus Smart just needs to get on that same page of, okay, your job is now to pass first, not shoot. And then I would love it if we could pick up the free agent of Taco Fall, so Ball can have a tall friend, if we even keep Ball. I know we're not going to, but Taco would be a nice little cheap pickup. Use him for size, use him to just, cause some morale boosts. The fans love him. The fans love him. You know that he is already the star in all of our Arbella insurance commercials on NBC Sports Boston, so you might as well bring the face back and have him on the bench and hang out because he was the coolest and everyone loved him. And we really need some love right now and some happiness and joy, because Deuce Tatum can't be the only thing that makes me happy about this team. Seeing him run around and be so excited and be the cutest, most patient, most polite boy on the sidelines watching his father play is the cutest thing in the world, but that cannot be the only thing that gets me excited about Celtics games at this point. Rob Williams is amazing. I fucking love him. He's been a gem since we got him. I knew he was going to be something special. I felt that way about Ty Rozier when we had Ty Rozier. It's just he was injured, so we didn't know his full potential, but we could see it. We saw glimmers of it. If he can just stay a little bit more consistent, that'd be perfect. I get it. He's had some bouts with COVID. He's been injured with injuries. He's had, a child, so he's been out. He hasn't consistently been a starter in the game, but he has so much room to grow, and I'm really excited about his potential. He is definitely someone to keep as a core three with Jalen and Jason to build around those three guys. So they play the Wizards tomorrow, like I said, and then they come back and play the Kings on Tuesday. Again, the Celtics have one of the easiest, on paper, rest of the year before playoffs, if they even make playoffs, of a lineup, of a schedule. So that's good and bad. Good that, you should potentially be winning these games with blowouts, but it's bad because you know that the Celtics play down to their competition and they underestimate their competition, and that's how they lose, because they'll lollygag and they'll take a quarter off, which is usually the third quarter. They don't play like they're supposed to. They dig themselves into a hole. They try to fight back in the fourth quarter, and then they run out of time, they run out of gas, and they make stupid shot selections. So, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's like we're in the twilight zone. I hate repeating myself. I feel like if you watch this video and then watched a video from a month ago, it's the same things I'm repeating. It's like a broken record. So I'm hoping there's three things. Ime needs to either ship up or shape out. Brad needs to put his basketball IQ genius to work and get some guys and make some moves and figure it out. And the boys just need to be consistent. Play how you know how to play. Get out of your head and figure it out. We're not doing this whole I'm best friends with the guys on the other team bullshit. That's not how you win games. It's not what this game is about. You want to win banners, win championships. We're way overdue. We haven't had a championship since '08. We are now in 2022. Let's go, guys. You have talent on that team. Talent all across the board. Make it show on the court for 48 minutes straight. Period. Consistency. Let's go. I'll check back in with you guys in a couple of games, a week or two. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the next time I'm on here, we're talking about positive things. This has been Marie D for Boston Banner Bound. I will see you guys on my next episode.
Thanks.